Hello and welcome to the Universes Academy podcast. I am your host, Matt Childress, and with me is my amazing co-host, Mr. Chris Smith. Chris, how you doing?
Well, with the last few days announcements, I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm doing great.
Yeah,
It's awesome. Yourself?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well. Just
Good. Good.
getting life to calm back down. And the
Mhm.
ongoing craziness that is my adult life. We
Yeah.
went, and the other night you and I were going to try to do a little play testing, and my whole
Mhm.
septic system decided like, that ain't happening. Let me poo poo on those plans, pun intended.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
Definitely. Yeah.
so yeah, we got that all resolved though, so we're good now. And just getting ready for Nats, man.
Yeah.
Pretty
I'm
excited,
still, I still have no idea what I'm playing.
dude.
I still don't know. I still have no idea.
I, I'm
It's
I'm
crazy.
doing some testing this weekend, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna try out a couple of the other decks that I've got. See if anything can grab my attention more than what I've been playing recently, which is the Mirio deck. But yeah, I don't know. Like that's the starting point. But I'm not like
Yeah.
100% on it yet. Like in that way, I think there's still some
Hmm.
tuning in the deck to happen, like some foundations I'm trying to tweak, maybe a couple of
Sure.
attacks. But the core of the deck feels really good, and
Yeah.
I think the general strategy that I'm going with is solid. So if
Hmm.
nothing else, that's what I'll play. But
Yeah.
if I'm going to keep exploring some other things and see if I can find something else that kind of grabs my attention. I'm like, whoa, this seems busted. Let's do this instead.
Yeah. Yeah, like I've been it's no secret I've been testing like All Might 3, I've been testing Overhaul. I tested Earth Overhaul last night at locals.
Mm-hmm.
Uh Defense felt amazing. Like it felt like Kirishima 2 levels of defense like
Mm.
back in last year's Nats. It felt that good.
Yeah.
Issue is Overhaul doesn't draw cards.
That's true. That is
He
true.
gets he gets to play a card from his stage, but he doesn't draw a lot of cards on the Earth symbol.
Right.
So I went 1-2, but like the two matches I lost were in three, and it
Mm.
was more along the lines of, well, I couldn't frenzy them 4 times in a turn, so then enemies run out of cards in hand because you don't have passing the torch, you don't have
Mm-hmm.
lost in thought to add a block to your hand, technically if you have
Right.
extra cards in hand or whatever, and
You
I
have
basically
well, you do
lost
get
because
new
of that.
combat training or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
They
yeah.
kind of
You
get you
get
plus one.
new training
New
method.
training
Yeah,
method. Yeah,
you
yeah,
get to
yeah.
do
Sorry.
that too. Yeah, no, that's good. And so I'm just like, well, I guess I'll go back to square one. What do we like to do? We love to draw cards. So we're gonna go back to All Might and we're gonna go back to Overhaul Off Life. We're just gonna pilot them for a little bit. I'm trying a Chaos Mimic next week just to see how it feels. Not that
Okay.
I'm going to play it, but I just want
Right.
to try something different
Yeah.
because I think like my locals need to play against it because no one plays that deck so locally.
So
And I think that deck needs to be tested against because that thing can
yeah.
blow you out super easy, but it could also die real fast too because he barely has any defense. You
Right.
know.
So, and that kind of leads me to my next question. Like, if you were going to guess right now, and if you guys haven't checked it out, check out Tim's video talking about like his gauntlet
Mm-hmm.
of decks or whatever. And basically, he was trying to determine two decks for every symbol, and come up with some that could be represented in Nats, right? With some
Mm-hmm.
larger portion than just some random dude's pet deck who shows up, right?
Yeah.
And in particular, he talked about how it could be 3% of the field, it could be 10% of the field for some of those decks. So
Yeah.
like if you were gonna guess right now what the most represented deck would be at Nats, what do you think it's gonna be?
It's gonna be Overhaul.
Think so?
I just do. Yeah, I think it's just a bandwagon effect. I really do.
I
And even if people don't have repeated, they're gonna find ways to fill the holes,
Sure they'll
or
play
spend
Earth or
a
they'll
hundred
play
dollars,
Evil.
or they play evil, which evil isn't that bad either. It's gonna throw you to death, and then it's gonna max them overhaul all the throws back in their hand. They're gonna kill you. So, but the consensus, I think I think I'm gonna go with the bandwagon pick, and it's going to be overhaul with Muriel right behind him. That's what I'm thinking.
I could see that. I could see those being like one and
Yeah.
two for representation.
Hmm.
I don't know, like I was trying to think if there's like a third deck that is gonna be really popular. Like for example, like if we're playing rock paper scissors, what has a good matchup into one and or both of those? And I
Jiro.
who
Jiro.
Jiro?
I think Jiro could be in the top three represented as
I
well.
think I think
You know.
Eraserhead won also. Like
Yeah.
EH1 has a
Sure.
pretty good matchup into both those guys. Like I talked to Andrew a
I
little bit about the EH1 matchup for
Yeah.
Overhaul, and he's like, you kind
Uh-huh.
of have to press your buttons sooner, or you just don't get to press them sometimes. It's pretty difficult in general, but it's not
Yeah.
unwinnable by any means. It's just
No.
you got to play a little differently.
like I was talking to River last night before as we were walking out of the shop, and I was just like, I really do think the best. Like, I know a lot of people were thinking like Overhaul's the best deck in the room, Mirio, whatever. Like, if you can stay 100% focused the entire time and play perfect, I think Eraserhead is the best deck in the format. It just is.
You
He
just
can shut your character off.
you just
That's
can't blink.
You can't blink. You just can't. Exactly. You can't. Like
Yeah.
I think he honestly is the best deck in the format. He's just so hard to play. One mistake could cost you that match just because he's not that he's brittle. It's just
He's pretty fragile.
I guess he's
19
kind of
health is not a
fragile.
lot of health
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, it's not a lot. No,
Like
not
the
at all.
+2 -2 speed for free is great. It's never been bad.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I think even further, and one thing that I always struggle with whenever I have to try to pilot that deck, and that deck hates me, so just know that. But the thing that I always struggle with is when to actually use his response to draw to, and when
Just
not
to draw.
to.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, like at what point do I not want to reduce speed? Because are you basically just going to telegraph that you're not blocking anymore? Because that feels really bad, you know?
Yeah.
And
I've won some games against Eraserheads because of they pull that trigger too fast, or
Yeah.
their hand management just went down to, they were blocking plus using erase, blocking with the races, using erase to seal things. They were just trying to stay alive as best as they could, and eventually they're just like, well, commit to draw two. Well, I don't have the right block zones. Guess I die.
Right,
So
right. Well, and
it comes down to that.
like I mean, it's got some good answers to both of those decks.
Yeah.
Because it does shut down Overhaul from even using his flip ability and gaining that health and all, because it's still during the attack. So if he gets erased, he's just out of luck, and like that's huge. Because that's kind of what Overhaul kind of banks on, is like being able to chip you out a little bit more after you decide to block or not block, kind of thing, and getting some extra mileage there. So I don't know, like, and I know Mirio struggles in that matchup. I'm gonna probably try to test both of those decks, EH1 and Mirio, into EH1 some this weekend.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
my thing with it is it's always just, how do you kill people? And I know Repeated is a hell of a card, and that's how he can kill people. You got Ultimate Combination if you're off a Void also.
I
Like,
mean, you have Rejuve Smash for card draw, and you get momentum for free
it
off
does
that
give
card.
you snap free momentum, which is nuts.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like you add 5 speed to that attack for free, for free. So
free,
that makes it
yeah.
a 9 speed doing 6. So like you just pile a
Yeah.
little bit more on there. Like, and that's the thing. Like that element of the deck is like what to me seems really cool, because like I love playing Rejuve Smash anyway. That card is super fun.
Yeah.
And the idea of like being able to do that in a Eraserhead, you're like, oh my god, like the card advantage is real. But I don't know, man. Like I still think, like, is Death the right call? Maybe there's a Death build out there that's just like, dunking Furies into people, because Vile Seizing is also a hell of a card, and Full Cowling or whatever it is, the one that gets +1 for each card in their hand, and like, there's just some good options there now off of the Death low difficulty, but like low speed also, but he kind of helps solve that problem of it. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
he helps solve that problem. Yeah, like
So-
he's always been a character that it's just like, man, I really want to play that guy, but everyone's playing like turn 2, turn 3 aggro decks, and if I just make one mistake, I just die at locals, and it's not fun doing that.
Well, he's got a really bad Jiro matchup.
Oh yes,
And
he does.
Jiro,
Yeah.
as we talked about before, like has the most representation in your top 8 of any character.
Yeah.
So like, there's
yeah,
probably, to
you
your
were-
point, I
yeah.
think she might be that third thing. So like if you're gonna pick a top 4, he might be edged out to 4th or so, or like even regardless of who the 3 in front of him are in the order of them, he might be like that 4th character, because he does do well into 2 of those 3, but he doesn't do well into that 3rd one.
I mean, with like 300 some odd people, just guessing at numbers, you could dodge them all day, I guess, till tops, because all you need to do
Yeah.
is get the top 16. That's all that matters. Is
Right.
you get into top 32, you win your first game, and you're going to the HLC. So you're going to Florida. Spoiler alert, we found out.
Oh my
So,
God,
yeah.
Chris, we're about to talk about the news. You just
I
couldn't
know,
wait.
but yeah, I know. We were just but we're just just
So-
chit chatting. But
so-
yeah, but I think he is. Yeah, But yeah,
It's a good
anyway,
deck. Like
Yeah.
and there's some other really good decks out there too. And that's the thing. Like if you haven't watched Tim's video, definitely check it out. He does a great job of kind of, even if again all those decks aren't necessarily S tier or even like A+ tier, but they're definitely like solid B+ and above decks that you might just see. And like in all honesty, that's kind of all it takes at this large of an event. Like, to your point,
Yeah.
maybe you dodge the meta stuff. Like, I'll tell you right now from personal experience, if you lose round one, throw out all the meta stuff because odds are you're playing against
Yeah.
random jank
Random
the rest of the
jank.
way until like round 7 and above. You know, if you
So
and that's assuming
we
you win out.
oh
You know,
yeah. Yeah. We were chatting at locals last night and Trent's going and I'm just like, are you playing Bakugo at Nats? Because he loves his Bakugo one deck. Like it's Death Bakugo. You know, Tim kind of put it on everyone's radar at the RLE in Rochester, even though that character is crazy cool. Like he does a lot of neat things. He just hasn't had some of the, the gas, the grease behind the wheels, as we say. And he's just gotten like every set has just added stuff to his kit,
right?
right? And now it's just like, well, I guess he's cool now, and I'm calling it right now. There's going to be Bakugo is going to have a giant representation. Not a lot,
Think
but it's
so?
going to be like it's not. You know how like they have that other section. He's not going to be in that other section. He's going to
Okay.
actually have his own little section. Bakugo one, by the way,
I
it
think
has to be Bakugo one.
I think
Yeah,
Rappa is going to have a huge representation too, just
yeah,
because kind of
same.
like that character. So I played against one. I think I was talking about it the other week at the store championship, and
Hmm.
man, that deck just clears its card pool, gets free momentum, and just keeps on hitting you in the face if it gets the draw. You know, and
Yep.
like the whole deck is designed just to dig deeper anyway.
Yep.
So like it's more consistent than it probably should be
Could be.
because he can
Yeah.
pop and give +2. You know, but
Yep.
man, that deck is cool.
It's
like,
kind of funny that you're saying that he's digging through his cards, and his quirk is he has like super like his shoulders are like just like machine guns. It's not his fists, it's his shoulders that are his quirk. So like you're digging, and he's kind of like da 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 da, and you're digging, you're like ripping through your deck really fast, trying to find all the attacks. Is the same way
oh
he,
yeah, it's
he's
that deck
very
is it's
he's
a cool
very
deck.
he's very thematic. It is cool when you get to do it to people. It is not cool when you sit there and you watch them play their seventh bolt punch for the turn. So then it's
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Yeah, I
or
had
you usually
4
die
played on me
before.
in a turn, and I was like, "Well,
Yeah,
this is a little too close for comfort," you know.
yeah, yeah. Sometimes you just don't live after that. You kind of
Yeah,
just die,
yeah,
you know.
just pack
So,
it up.
but anywho, yeah,
But yeah,
pack it up.
so needless to say, we're hyped for Nats. We're in
Yeah.
preparation mode, getting
Hmm.
just the decks honed in. Probably gonna buy some fresh sleeves, all that other sort of stuff. You know, make sure we're in tip top, ready to play shape.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
that being said, we got some bombshell news dropped this week by UVS Games.
That is something. Yeah, that's a way to put it. I
Yeah.
don't. I don't have any other word like
Well,
expletive deleted. I guess. So
they
yeah.
literally titled it "Big News in Universes." Like that's the header of their
Yeah,
article.
it is actually. Yeah, big news. Big
So
news. Yep.
I got it pulled up for everybody on the screen, and basically, it's just kind of giving you the first 6 months outlook of 2024 in some pretty broad strokes. It's
Would
not
you
too
would you say this is a would you say this is a roadmap? Because we do have dates in there, so it's kind of a roadmap in a way for the
kind of
first
like
6 months of the
we have
year.
a couple of
You know?
dates, but
Yeah,
it's for things we already knew about. The
kind of
things we
knew
didn't
about
know
it. Yeah,
about, we don't
yeah,
have dates for still. So,
yeah.
first thing they talked about was the HLC, and effectively they told us, hey, like Chris alluded to, it's in Orlando, Florida. Not
Yep.
only did they tell us where it's going to be, they also told us when it'll be happening. And it's happening
Which is
February 2nd to 4th. So,
which is light years ahead of what they told us last year.
right,
Because I don't think we found out until like late December where it was going to be. Because I
right.
remember freaking out because I'm like, okay, I need to know when these dates are because I have to take off time from work because we have a vacation draft and I have to like pick that week and yada yada yada. And I was just like totally freaking out. Like I was
Hmm.
just like, well, I guess I can't go if it's on a week I can't take off for work. So
Yeah.
but nah, this is a big win for them. And then I've heard rumors like I know it says about the main event
Hmm.
but like I don't know if it's true, but is there last chance qualifiers for this?
No, so what it does is it pivots and it starts talking about
Yeah,
nationals. So basically, they give you the
yeah,
dates, and then it's like the greatest players from around the world will gather in battle to become the #1 pro hero, and it's like you still
yep,
have a chance to take part in this pro hero nationals. Or having North America, Europe, and Oceanic, and then this month of October, sorry. And then it says the main
yeah.
event is an invite only tournament, but last chance qualifier events will be available on site Friday.
On
Okay,
site Friday.
so maybe
That's
there
for
are some.
national. That's for
Yeah,
nationals
yeah, that's what I
though.
thought. It's for nationals. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And it says
yeah.
last chance
But I
qualifier
also,
events are
but I,
single elimination events that you can earn an invitation
yeah,
to nationals. Yeah, players must match
yep.
are matched into 8 player pods and fight during a spot in the
So
main event. Oh, you only had to play through 8 people,
yeah, to get your
so
spot in
it's like a
for
3 round
Nats.
tournament.
A 3 round. It's a 3-man locals. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the 8-man locals. Yeah. So my thinking is this: is that because there's 4 spots that they haven't talked about for the HLC yet. If they do the 32 man, if they do the 32 person event again, and so people were thinking there's 4 last chance qualifier spots for the HLC. So maybe they'll talk about it more when more information's out, and they just haven't said it yet, and they don't want
Or
to confirm
maybe it's gonna
anything.
be community selected for content creators.
I mean, like they'd have to like send us both if they picked us, right?
That's right. We're 2 of the 4.
Okay, fine. Yeah,
Avi.
yeah,
Just
dude,
don't worry, guys.
obviously,
We're gonna win our
yeah.
spots the normal. It's
But
okay.
yeah, because remember we're gonna be in finals
Yeah,
in
we're just
that.
gonna
Finals is right here.
rock paper
Yeah.
scissors it and then handshake. It's gonna be the most
Mhm.
anticlimactic finals ever.
Oh, it's gonna be great. Yep, it's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, so that was super awesome news though. Like, so if you
Yeah.
want to go to the event, they're gonna have other stuff going on. I'm sure, just like they did earlier this year. You can go ahead and book a hotel room. You can get your plane ticket. You can do all that stuff already. And to be fair, like it's almost 5 months in advance that they told you this now because it's at the beginning of
I
February
looked.
and beginning
I
of
looked.
October is 4 months exactly. So it's a little over four
Yeah.
months away.
I looked at flights from Chicago. It's only like $200, and
That's not
so it's
bad.
like that's super dupe. And I guess Nick Reagan said it's cheaper for him to fly at this time to fly from California to Florida than it is for him to fly from California to Vegas or Nationals. It was one of the two.
Oh
Yeah, I think
wow.
it was to. Yeah, yeah. It's really weird. Yeah, it's just very weird.
Yeah.
But people should just go because of what we're going to talk about later on. I got some tinfoil hat theories going on.
So the article then goes on to say upcoming product releases, and it, of course starts talking about Jetburn and how it comes out on the 17th, which we already know. At this point, we've seen pretty much everything from the set outside of, I think, like secret rares and maybe the Plus Ultra promos and stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll check those out. We'll talk about the other previews that have come out since then for characters and core things of the set later in the episode. And then it does kind of, I think, add some clarity because even myself was confused, and we were talking about it once before in our Discord about what's going on at the pre-release event, right? It says, and don't forget to register for a pre-release event. Pre-release events start on November 10th and allow you early access with a kit containing 6 booster packs and a bonus foil card, which can either be an XR or an alternate art character.
I just want alternate art characters, buddy. That's all I care.
Yeah, well, so, and I thought that's what they said before, was that it was going to be an alternate art
It's
character.
either. It's always been either or. Yeah.
Okay, see, I think when they originally announced it, I either misunderstood or just didn't realize what was going on or whatever. But yeah, because they still talked about also how, like, if I'm not mistaken, and again I could be because I got confused, but they're gonna be they're not just alternate art characters for set 6 from Jetburn. They could be from
No.
any 1 through 5 potentially.
I think it's. I'm not sure the logistics, but I think you're correct. 'Cause I know in the booster packs, it could be characters from older sets. So why couldn't it be in the same vein as the?
Yeah,
Yes, so
because the whole idea there is clearly that they're trying to make copies of the old characters that have the new templating, and also probably just like the Gen Con promos, they have the new key
keywords.
traits. Yeah, so
Big traits. Yeah.
so
The flavor text, as I call it.
the flavor flav.
It's flavor text, is what it is.
so yeah, so that's all cool. Appreciate the clarity there. Very excited for Jetburn. Again, we'll talk about those other previews here in just a little bit, and then they
I know I'm more hyped for this than Jetburn, so yeah, let's go.
yeah, then they drop the big bomb, the biggest of bombs. The Yu
biggest
Yu
bomb.
Hakusho Dark Tournament
It's like
set
5
is
years
coming,
in the
guys.
waiting.
It is not a dream. This is not a drill. This is not a drill. It is actually
It's
happening.
not a drill.
So
Hell yes.
for anyone who's an MHA newer player, anyone who joined with just MHA, basically the game before had a whole bunch of different properties. It had Street Fighter, it had Darkstalkers, it had Yu Yu Hakusho, it had
Mortal Kombat.
it had Soul Calibur, like, all
Yep.
kinds of stuff in it. And Yu Yu had only gotten one set, and people were like, "Oh man, the Dark Tournament's kind of a baller arc. Y'all gonna do that?
Yeah.
And they were like,
Yeah.
yeah, anything's possible. Probably one day.
We
Well,
need the Fox Boy. We need the Fox Boy.
here we
That's all I
are.
cares about. Yep.
The day is here. So they released just the promo art. Looks fresh. And then they go on to talk about how there's no release date, but
Correct.
they basically confirmed that after Jetburn, it's the next set.
It's the next set. Yeah.
Now, they have not confirmed how that's going to jive with MHA, what they're doing format-wise and all, but it does say that Dark Tournament will only be available at your local game stores, with special Dark Tournament release events taking place. Of pre-releases for the set, the Dark Tournament will feature new cards as well as fan favorite reprints from previous Yu Yu Hakusho releases, aka
the one release, yeah.
from the previous set we just referred to. Even further, they're going to probably pull back a couple of the characters for new templating. They're going to pull back probably the cards that got errated, because that just makes sense. And then I wouldn't be surprised if like other older copies, sort of like how Valiant Assault older copies are playable. Wouldn't be surprised if that's an option here as well. Like you can get your new copy, or you can just use one of the old ones if you want to. So let's talk about this, because this is the big thing, right?
This is the giant. This is the elephant in the room.
Yeah. So the question now, and they don't talk about it in this article, is
correct.
What does this look like moving forward, right? Because they do go on, and just full disclosure, they do go on to say, hey, MHA, don't worry, we have another set coming out also in 2024, so we'll get set 7 in 2024. And like I said, they confirmed, I think via Twitter, that this is just the first 6 months. So they're talking about 2 sets in the first 6 months, presumably 3 months apart, which means you're probably
looking... And Challenger decks too. Those got a release date as well.
And the Challenger series, so we'll talk about those as well. So you're probably looking at Dark Tournament coming out sometime in February. Maybe we'll get to have some of it at Worlds, if you get to go to Worlds, sort of like they did this past year with Set 4. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, baby, let's go.
And then you probably come like May or sometime around there, 3 or so months after they release the Dark Tournament, you'll get your next MHA set. Which does mean if you're an MHA only player, and these are going to stay as separate formats, that you're going to go from November until May without any new cards. Which again,
they could drop promos. They could do plus ultras or whatever.
To me, that also begs the question of, why did you change the templating with Jetburn? Why not just start it with Yu right? And then
very true.
Again, it doesn't make sense to me. But that's an old conversation. I'm not rehashing it. But what I do want to talk about is formats and what's going to happen to our game, right? Because right now we're in an MHA only format, and Chris and I are no stranger to multiple IPs being in a format. That's not the issue. I think 100% they're going to have a format of some sort that is multiple IPs.
They have to.
But the question is that the only format, or are they still going to keep MHA only as a format?
From what I've seen on the main cord and what they've alluded to in the past, that MHA only will be the main format, and then there'll be... I'm going to take a book out of Tim's page. They can't have like 7 different formats. They won't be able to do a UU only, because there's only one set. You can't do a UU only. Like if you have like say we got like Street Fighter, right? We get Street Fighter 6, right? But there's like 4 or 5 Street Fighter 6 sets. Then you could do a Street Fighter only block. You need to have the sets to make the format more diverse, to have like an only block. Like the reason why MHA only works so well is because we have like 5 or we'll have 6 sets, well 7 technically.
7 by next summer. Yeah. We at the very least we have 4 right now, or 5 right now. Sorry,
5 right now. So we have a which is really good, because one side it was kind of 2 was 3 was kind of getting night there, and
3 was pretty
4 3 was good, 4 5 even better. Like the more sets you get, the better it is. So I actually think that we'll have our only MHA only, and then you'll have your other events. Like you'll have a standard, I guess, but it will start from MHA 1, including everything up until whatever is currently released. I don't think, and then if they want to do a retro, they could do a retro event like once every 3 months or whatever, either webcam or at like a RLE or a Nationals or an HLC or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's not a bad call, assuming that you're gonna like the intent there then is to convert your MHA players into your expanded format, right? Because
I
if you're
think that is
starting
a
with that as
well,
the entry point,
yeah,
you're like, hey, well, you already have like 80% of the cards. Do you just want to pick up this
yeah,
one new set and keep playing?
yep.
And that's not a bad approach if that's the logic.
I mean, it's not like an MHA only deck wouldn't be able to hang in the new standard where
But
85% of the set is 85% of the block is MHA only anyways, you
and
know?
but here's what leads me to my question would be, what are we playing for, right? And that's
Sure,
our question right
sure.
now, even with the HLC, because
I mean,
most notably,
yeah,
we still
we don't know
don't
what we're
know
playing for.
what the
So we're playing.
prizing is for the HLC.
Mhm.
I feel confident in saying it's not cash money like it was last year.
I'm wondering if we're gonna get to create a card, not a character, but a card. Like other games, they allow their world champ to create a card, work with design to create a card, and that's like, hey, I made that, and it has like a little flavor stamp at the bottom, created by world champion Matt Childress, 2024, something
Yeah.
like that,
I
So
appreciate the shout out there. No,
you're
yeah,
welcome. I
I
got you,
definitely
boo. I
think
got you.
I think that is the best case scenario, right? I think that
Yeah.
if they are not going to have the cash pool, which I think is pretty obvious they don't at this point, unless they're just
Yeah.
like trying to bombshell us for some reason. But like last year, that drove people to come and play, so I don't know why you wouldn't do that to
Mhm.
start, you know? Um,
Yeah.
so given
Price
those
pool may
things,
be price pool may be lowered, and that's why that could be
yeah.
a thing.
I mean,
So
whatever
yeah.
is $500,000, like okay, you know, like
No, okay,
darn,
yeah.
I only walked away with $250,000 for playing this card game. I guess my life
Yeah, no.
sucks.
Sucks.
Like,
I know, right?
it was only a life changing amount of money.
Yeah, money. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
But that being said, like I I think that's kind of the question, right? Because if you're going to have multiple formats, it's the what's going to incentivize people to play this format outside of just the I like these characters, I like this
Mhm.
content, and like traditionally you won the greatest prize in gaming, which was creating your own character card or other card for the game, depending on what format you won, and
Yep.
that was really motivating. I mean, like personally, that's what kept me grinding was I never wanted my own personal character card, and I wanted to do that. And I used to say I was like, look, man, once I do that, I don't give a shit anymore. Like I'll come and I'll
Yeah.
play
Well.
because I love the community,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna like I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be try hard and I'm not gonna be sitting here like staying up trying to figure out the meta, grinding out decks, and I'll be like, man, I'm just gonna play my character. We're gonna have some fun. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Exactly. Or you can be like Garrett and have a really good character and be really good at the game and still win. And
yeah,
it's like
or Tim,
whatever.
right?
Yeah. Or
Tim's
Tim.
like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
make a character that they're gonna have to errata because I'm nuts.
I'm nuts. Yeah. You
Yeah.
got it. Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, given those things, that's my big question right now is what are we playing for in MHA this year at the HLC? But even
Yeah.
further, how would a multiple format thing kind of look? Like, I love the idea of property specific formats like MHA only as a format, and then maybe like where it's like, hey, you can go and we're going to re-release the old set or at least part of it.
I mean,
And
okay. So
yeah,
so now you just opened up a can of worms because locally we've been saying to us, if you take Yu Yu Hakusho by itself, it's really good. Like even with like the broken crap, like Kuwabara and Genbu, the Genbu attack, Boulder Barrage, even Spirit Gun to a point. If you play it, play it
I see what you did there
self-contained,
with Spirit Gun to a point, because you got to point
the
your Spirit
point,
Gun.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's self-contained. It's fine. So like if you do re-release, if they do, oh my god, if they re-release set one, or if Dark Tournament is like 75% new cards, 25% old cards, and you're like, I could still use the old stuff, I'm game. Because we were even talking about once Dark Tournament comes out, we're gonna do a Yu Yu Hakusho only night where it's those two sets only allowed. But I think you have to have enough sets to, like we have to have a third Yu Yu Hakusho set, I think, to
sure.
make. I think
Well,
I think 3 sets is the sweet spot, to be honest with you.
I think it's
for-
kind of like
for an only
at this
format.
point we have enough. You have a large enough card pool that enough different strategies can actually become viable, as opposed to what normally happens in
Yeah.
a more limited card pool where it's like two strategies
Yeah.
are really viable, and even further like random luck or random outlier cards dominate a format, right?
Yeah.
Like think back to like Kirishima 1, and it was like, oh yeah, this dude kind of just stomps on
Everybody.
all but like two other characters. Like All Might 3 had an okay matchup and Eraserhead had an okay matchup. They weren't
Yeah.
good matchups, but they were okay.
Jiro was okay if you played all flashes.
Yeah,
So,
Jiro could do all right
yeah.
things, but
Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
point being, that opened up a lot more and things get more interesting. But yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't know. That's my big question right now is what are they
Sure.
going to do as far as formats? Because to your point, they also talk about the Challenger series, and I want to speak to that in a second. They gave us some definitive dates for it. They also updated the names for Spike, right? I think or whatever. They added the bounty hunter to him, or they redid his name.
I think that always had it on there.
Okay, I couldn't remember. I didn't remember it being like 2 lines or whatever. But anyway, they updated his card art. Looks pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
and look, and they
He's
confirmed the other two characters in the Challenger decks too. So
yeah, Faye Queen of Hearts and Nicholas D. Wolfwood.
Wolfwood.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Um,
Yeah.
and well, what's interesting about Spike is like he's kind of stepping in between the card text and his like hand total and all. So that's a pretty cool visual trick
Yeah.
they're doing there. So props to them.
Yeah, it's very neat. It's very neat. Yeah.
But like I also they're changing the font. If you look at like the numbers, they're a
Yeah, they're
different font
different.
shape than
Yeah,
the
they're
current
different.
MHA
Yeah.
numbers, which I do like that sort of thing. Like I like the subtle visual things. They've done that in the past as well
Yeah,
with DLCs
yeah.
and stuff. But these are coming out January 19th. So that's kind of awesome. And even further, so I think what you could do, and again, have no insider knowledge here, but like you can use this type of product to supplement different properties, right? So clearly that's what
Sure.
they're doing here. Hey, we don't want to make a whole set for Vash and for
Trigun
Spike
or
for
Trigun Stampede and Bebop. Yeah.
but we
Yeah.
do want to have them in our game so we can say that we have that. Hey, here's a product that contains these 4 different decks. You can just pick it up and play. It's kind of like the LCG model at that point, right? Like it's a self-contained product. You buy it, you can play it. It's an interesting space for them to explore. It's kind of like DLCs, but like deluxe versions of them. And
Yeah.
and I think that's to me like if you're gonna do major set releases, then I think you supplement other titles with these, right?
These?
So like
I can get that. Yeah.
yeah, so to me, like, I wouldn't have been surprised if we got told there was going to be like a dark tournament challenger series that was going to come out instead of a full set. Full set's cool too, but I'm just saying like that wouldn't surprise me if they're like, hey, we're going to stick with MHA as our main one. I think they might also be pumping the brakes because they quickly are approaching the point of the anime, and now the manga goes much further. But,
yeah,
but
yeah.
that's not been animated yet, so they probably have to kind of slow down there before they
down.
consume all the stuff, and they're too far ahead. Or caught all the way back up,
Yep.
and they can't release anything like legally.
Yeah.
So
Very true. Yeah.
so I think that might be playing a factor as well. Just again, pure speculation. But I'm kind of curious to see how they end up navigating these waters, right? Because you could very easily just say, hey, we have MHA only, that's our primary format, and then we're also going to your point, have side events, or we're going to do other another tournament scene where it's not going to be supported at your local store, and they're not going to be promos and stuff, but it's this UVS only format where it's everything from MHA up through all these other expanded titles.
I wouldn't be surprised that like the Plus Ultra thing keeps going through all of, like we'll get them for dark. They won't be called Plus Ultra packs, obviously. They'll be
Right.
called probably They'll be called tournament packs on the nose. I know for Dark Tournament,
Yeah.
but they'll be called probably something around those lines. But we'll still get promos, and wouldn't be surprised if like we get new Plus Ultras for MHA only. Maybe they're going to be doing double duty, and you'll get like a My Hero only. You could sign up for both of them. You could either get your My Hero onlys, or you can get both of them, or you can get one or the other. Which wouldn't surprise me because that's another way to supplement a title is to add like 12 new cards. It's almost like a DLC kit almost. If you think about it. So
I like your optimism. But
I know.
in my personal experience with this game and with game stores that run this game, they do good to understand anything that's going on, much less multiple things that are going on.
Yeah, I know.
So, while I think that's a cool idea, I think that it's more likely that we just get, like I said, like supplemental, like one of products they can sell off the shelf for the non tentpole product or titles, and then or properties, and then from there you get all these other ones that are, like whether it's a challenger series or like a booster set every now and then. Like I think the fact that Dark Tournament's getting a booster set is huge because again, it's either they're going to slowly, crawl back into an expanded format, clearly, and support that. That's the other big thing is like you're supporting that because like, I'll use myself as an example. When they announced MHA only as a format, they being the previous owners, and when they right before COVID or whatever, during COVID even it was. And they were like, yeah, this is going to come out. This is going to be the only format we're supporting for a while. We're going to create this new tournament scene so people can get into it. And I'm like, sold, because I cashed out all my standard cards. Like I just sold them off as bulk, and I was like, this is what I want to play. And I understand that's not what everyone did, and lots of people held on to their stuff, and that's great. But like, to tell people now, like, hey, you have to go back and find cards from sets that came out 5-6 years ago. And that's that's assuming that it's not full standard also. That's assuming that it's more recent standard. Like that just seems really unlikely, you know?
I think it starts at MHA 1 and up. I really do. That would be the easiest way to bring the MHA only kids into it. And because like, well, all you need to do is buy this Yu Yu Hakusho set, or if you want to skip it, you still have the first 6 sets in standard, the first 7 sets in the 7 out of the 8 sets in standard. That's not a bad card pool to pull from.
Well,
and let's say your deck needs a few cards from Dark Tournament. What do? Oh, you can go hit an online shop and go pick them up. You know, it's not that bad.
And historically, the blocks, they tried to have 10 sets in them anyway. Which if that statement remains true, then by the end of next year, there should be 4 sets coming out next year, because there are 2 in the first 6 months they've confirmed, and presumably 2 in the back 6. So
already be in. That will be our new standard.
Right.
Yeah.
You'll have 10 sets as a new standard, at which point maybe this time next year, that's what they're announcing. Like, hey, we're officially going to launch and support this format as well. I could see that. That could be kind of cool. If that wasn't your plan, UVS Games, you're welcome. We just solved it for you. You know,
Yay!
Timeline checks out.
How are we not on the payroll? You know, how are we not? I don't get this.
I don't know, man. It ain't due to lack of effort, I assure you.
I've told a few people who work there, I'm like, you guys don't want me working there. I can't keep a secret. I'm bad at it. I get too hyped, man. It's just like, I'm too excited. Like I was talking to Jeremy in church about stuff, and they're like, man, we want to talk to you guys about all this cool stuff that's coming out, but we can't, you know? It's just like, I feel so bad for them, because they just want to, they want to release it. And I go, I mean, I won't sign an NDA, but you could tell me anyways.
I won't sign an NDA.
You know, so, you know, but it's like,
I feel like you would probably be the worst person to sign an NDA anyway, right? Like,
I would sign it and still tell people, because I just can't not tell people. I'm just too excited, because you know, it's like coming from a person, you know, we both played standard and back in the old times before the MHA, before, you know, during the dark times, and we were waiting. Like my play group loves Yu Yu Hakusho. Like that's all. Like I would say about 75% of us, that's like our favorite or one of our favorite animes of all time. Because yes, I'm old and I love older stuff, and it was my formative years. I can't help it. And that was the best arc in the entire show. Like the show should have ended after that arc, but obviously it didn't. But whatever. But that arc is like if you tell a non-anime watching person, like, just watch this. Just watch these episodes and just let me know what you think. And you don't need to really know a whole lot of backstory, because it's like they do a lot of like character building in that arc, you know. It's like, it's just nuts, and it's beautifully animated, and we get some of the coolest fights ever, and we get one of the coolest characters of all time in Yoko Kurama. Come on, man. I'm so hyped, dude. I am Dragon of the Darkness Flame. Like, how can you not be hyped for this, you know?
So you want to know my relationship with Yu Yu Hakusho?
It's probably not a good one. So
no, I like Yu. But
okay, cool.
I remember it coming on like Toonami or whatever when I was like in middle school.
That's how I watched it too. That's why I watched it as well.
And I was like, this shit's lame. And because I was like Dragon Ball Z exclusive.
Oh yeah. I trust me. I knew it too.
Then, as an adult, Microsoft does like a holiday sale, and they'll mark down seasons of anime down to like $5.
Oh, sweet.
Yu Yu Hakusho, they'd given me the first season for free, and I watched it. I was like, okay, this isn't actually that bad. It's pretty good. The other seasons went on sale for $5. I was like, I'll spend $15 to own all of this. Boom.
Yeah.
Snap done. And I watched it all. And I was like, oh, this shit's real good.
It is.
So
It is.
that is
Oh
how. So
yeah.
I'm like super late to the UU train.
Oh yeah.
It's
It's
kind
all
of like
good.
Blink-182. Like Blink came out when I was in high school, and I was the target market. Like I loved all these other pop punk
Yeah.
bands, and I was like, I
Yeah.
mean, like their singles are okay, but I don't have any of their albums. And then it's like 15 years later, and I'm like, oh my god, I love these
God.
guys. Why was I not listening to this? What
Yeah.
an idiot. So I'm late to the
Yeah.
party sometimes, guys. So forgive me,
It's
but
kind of now that you bring up Toonami, it's kind of like we're Toonami the card game in a way because we have
yeah.
Bebop, we got Trigun, we have Yu Yu Hakusho. What's next? Outlaw Star? Come on, just give me
Ronin
all of it.
Warriors, please.
Just give me
Just
all the old
if
Toonami
yeah, if you're
episodes,
gonna
man. Just give it
buy
to
just
me.
really old
Yeah,
anime licenses,
anyway,
get the
yeah.
Ronin Warriors,
Come on.
guys. I'm telling you right now, you'll sell out.
Like I am so ready for a Toonami block. That's it. Boom, solved. It's called
Toonami
Toonami
block.
block.
There's
It's
no way
called
that's
Toonami block.
copyrighted.
I know,
You're
but
not gonna get them in any
I don't
trouble.
know. No, not at all. But we can still call it Toonami block behind the scenes, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I grew up with all. Like, granted, we're never gonna. I mean, pipe dream of ever getting Dragon Ball, which will probably
Yeah,
never
it's
happen.
not gonna happen. Yeah.
But like if we got Dragon Ball, we have all of Toonami and we rule the world. That's
Yeah.
all that matters.
If they ever
you know?
secure any version of Dragon Ball in any way, shape, or
Mhm.
form from Bandai, or is it Bandai that makes it? I think right now, right?
Bandai makes it currently.
Yeah.
Bandai
If that ever
does,
happens, then yeah, you have infinite money and you can do whatever you want
Uh-huh.
because
Uh-huh.
Dragon
Uh-huh.
Ball Super is not a very good card game.
No.
Objectively, not a very good card game.
Oh, their cards are pretty. The game sucks, in my
See,
opinion.
I don't
Yeah.
even think the cards are pretty. Like subjectively, I don't think they're pretty. Like there's way too much
Yeah.
text. Like the
Oh no, I'm
formatting's all kind
saying
of ugly.
if you take the text box off,
Oh, sure, the
artwork's
artwork, yeah, it's Dragon Ball artwork, whatever, yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's Dragon Ball artwork. Yeah,
but
that's all I
like,
care about. I
like
don't
the
care about
card
text.
templating
Yeah.
and formatting is
Oh, it's
just
weird.
It's
Yeah, it's
busy,
different.
it's gross,
Yeah.
and then mechanically, like I tried to learn the game a few times and play it, and I was just like, this is boring. Like
Yeah.
this doesn't do anything for me. So
Yeah.
that's
We're
my
not a
opinion.
Dragon
Though.
Ball. We're
Yeah.
not a Dragon Ball Super podcast. So
No,
let's
and
come
we
on.
just guarantee
yeah.
we will never have Dragon Ball Super people in our, our community, probably. But sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
exactly. Oh well.
Yeah.
But no, like if they keep rolling on this anime train, which I think they will, but like I know I've heard of the rumors they want Street Fighter back. They want to
Ooh.
get Street Fighter back into it. So, I mean, like I think they were saying that at the HLC they want to try to get Street Fighter back.
Oh,
So, I mean, man, like if we get Street Fighter back, I mean, we gotta get Street Fighter now because it's
Yeah.
hot right now.
Yeah,
That's
six
the issue. Like
is popping right now.
six is one of the most heavily played games in all of the world right now, even more than Mortal Kombat 1 that just came out like 2 weeks ago or a
Yeah,
week ago.
like
So,
I actually have not
you
played
know.
6, but that being said, Street Fighter is what got me into the game back in the day. Like
Yeah.
literally set
Yeah.
1, I saw the Udon art promos and I was like, gotta have
Oh
one.
yeah, I'm sure. Like I what Gen Con 2013, which was or 2012, whenever King of Fighters 13 and Rulers came out,
Mhm.
I walked around. I was walking around with my buddy Corey. I didn't have a card game to play. I was playing dead games.
Mhm.
But then I saw Morgan Darkstalkers art on like the Jasco backdrop, and I'm
Yep.
like, "What's that?" And he's like, "Oh, that's UFS. The game is really cool." I'm like, "It has Morgan?" He goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "Cool. Where do I buy product?" Because that's all because like I have an old Darkstalkers Morgan stand from back in the day, so
Mhm.
I was like, I can play one of my favorite fighting game characters in a card game. I'm down.
Right.
Granted, that tin didn't come out for like 8 months, but whatever.
Yeah.
That was just a problem back then when we never got new cards on time. But
Yeah.
anywho. Okay, but yeah, but like super hype. So Challenger Series, I think they're just gonna mix it all into one giant format, and then have your MHA only thing. I think realistically, we're probably gonna have just two formats. To be honest,
I think
with
that's
you.
totally
So,
plausible. And then I think maybe you do like
Yeah.
one big side event for like retro or something like so hopefully I'm sure they hope that if they do an expanded format, it's not MHA only, that kind of appeases those people. But the thing is like people still want to play with their old cards, because
I mean, you could do a retro event at Nationals at HLC and maybe 2 or 3 times, like at Gen Con or something like that. You know,
I think
It's
you
fun.
do it at your big majors, like at Nationals,
Yeah.
and then a side event at the HLC or whatever, and then you tell people
Yeah.
you should be happy that we're doing this at all, like if they want to
Yeah,
complain. I mean,
yeah.
because the reality is
Yeah.
that they're not making any money off of you buying old product that they can't sell you. So
Correct.
to support that format, and I know that sounds really terrible, but that's the reality of it. It's a business, So to support that format cost manpower. Like people have to answer questions about it. They have to make rulings. They have to go and they have to,
Yeah.
build list of ban and erratas. They have to do a lot of
Yeah,
manpower to go into it.
they just unbanned Goro and Shiva off the unbanned list for
Oh, did
retro.
they?
Yeah, they unbanned the two four-handers for some random reason. So we have no idea.
Okay,
Yep.
but
Have fun at nationals, everybody.
yeah,
you
but
know.
like that's the thing, like like that takes additional resources that you probably don't think a lot about
Yeah.
as a player.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
from a business standpoint, and like so you can't really, and you can be mad, but you can't really justifiably be mad at them for not doing more. Like, why aren't you supporting this fully like you are MHA? Well, that's because they can still sell MHA, and most notably,
Yeah.
also Dark Tournament is not going to be in big box retailers, which to me
Yeah.
means it's probably a handful of things. One is that it's an older property, but we don't know if the Challenger Series stuff is going to be in there, and that is a newer property mixed with an older property, so
Yeah.
maybe not. But like, I'm willing to wager they probably like with the MHA deal got permission to peddle that through big box retailers because it is new, it
Yeah.
is kind of a hot title, as opposed to just a
The
deal with
older,
them
the older.
well,
Yeah.
just not a deal with UVS Games as a company to sell whatever their product is, like, so it's probably specifically that title for now or whatever. I don't know. That might have been something that was struck with like the Asmodee distribution stuff and all, or whatever. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of
don't know any of that
business
stuff.
jargon and shenanigans that have to happen there. But yeah, you're gonna have to go to your local game store to get your Dark Tournament, and that's totally
I
cool.
mean, you're gonna be there already anyways, playing MHA only, so you
Yep.
might as well grab it.
Yeah, can pick it up. So you want to talk about those last few characters? We good with all the news? We processing
Here
it?
we go. Oh, that was it. That was all the news. That was it.
Yeah, dude, that's
Oh
it.
man. Okay, cool. Also, this is not. Oh yeah, this is only the first like half of the year, which is crazy.
Yeah,
Which is nuts
yeah. It's the
in
first
my
6
eyes.
months.
Because we also have MHA Set 7 that's we have no idea what it's going to be about. So yeah, so
Yeah.
whatever. But cool.
Story wise,
I'm
you can kind of presume that it's
ready.
going to be like the 1A and 1B training session, where
Probably,
Midoriya
yeah.
manifests Black Whip and that sort of stuff. So
Mhm.
doesn't mean that's what it'll be, but like if you're following kind of like the way their sets are mirroring the progression of the story, that's what happens after the Gentle Criminal stuff.
That's like the big Bakugo character development arc, isn't it? Isn't that
I
when
mean,
him
it's
and
the one where you
him and
realize that he's next level badass, where he's like,
Yeah,
we're gonna have an
but, like,
absolute
don't hit-
victory, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna use you guys to make sure that happens, and I'm not gonna let anything happen to you. Yeah,
Yeah, and
Bakugo's
then
awesome.
don't him and Deku fight though? Isn't that the same where they have their fight at night?
No,
Too?
that's already happened at this point. But that's
Oh,
before the
has
Endeavor
it?
stuff and all. Yeah, that's shortly after
Ah.
Midoriya, or shortly after All Might and All for One battle.
Oh, really? Okay, so we
Yeah.
missed that entire fight that we should have had something
Yeah.
from. I thought.
Well, they also skipped
Yeah.
over like the license exam stuff, where like Gangorka hasn't made it in the game somehow, which boggles my
Yeah.
mind because that dude like
Could be-
dunks and punks on people all
could-
the time.
Could be plus ultra this set,
Could, but
or they're just not, or they're just doing things in different orders.
maybe.
So,
I mean, like it's not a direct parallel, but like it's pretty similar. But yeah, they should
Yeah.
do the 1A 1B stuff, and then that's all the other. That's when the villains are battling against the. I can't even think of it, like the corporation or whatever. And
Oh,
that's where
yeah, yeah,
Shigaraki
yeah, yeah, yeah.
goes next level and realizes they can use his quirk AOE style.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
and then after that you get into the this is when the liberation forces are going to try to destroy the society in the
Oh,
special
yeah,
season, and
yeah.
that is going to be bananas. So like, there's still a good
Yeah.
3 or 4 sets easy from, I feel like, the anime standpoint. At least 3.
At least 3. Yeah. At least
Probably
3.
a 4th one if you really want to stretch it out. But yeah,
That's not even counting. They could go back and do some of the filler stuff they haven't done.
or
yet,
the
like
movies. Like, I'm waiting to
Christmas-
see like a
Christmas
Challenger Series
episodes.
thing with the movies,
want
right?
a Christmas set. Christmas set. We want
Christmas
a
set would be
set.
dope. We do
Yeah.
need something, please. UVS Games, give us something
Yeah.
to do after Nats before
Oh.
Worlds.
I think I got your answer here. So me having my fingers out in the network, I did a trade with a buddy of mine, Scott in Maryland, and he sent me RLE promos I was missing. And there's one RLE promo that is currently missing. It's number 9. So I'm thinking that that's going to be next month's promo or December's promo, because you know how like the stores get like 16
They randomly got
copies
Unexpected
of-
Hero. They've gotten Hardened. That sort of thing.
you get a Harden. So I think whatever, that's the next one. But I really would love a winter tournament series where we can get cool winter alt art characters. Please.
Yeah, that would be dope.
I want a Santa Claus All Might. Damn it.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, there are some like Christmas episodes as well
Hmm.
and issues. So like, there's art resources there. Plus, they're getting a commissioned art now as well. So like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That would be really cool. I do think they need to have something so that way it's not just,
Yeah.
hey, did you qualify for Worlds? You didn't. Okay, well, there's nothing for you to do until next
Yeah.
May if you're an MHA only player. You know, like
Yeah.
you might get a
Yeah.
local scene and some promos, but that'd be about
There
it.
might be some on. I would definitely think we'd have like a winter store championships and stuff
Yeah,
like that. It
yeah, if they
won't.
want to do a
It,
third
it
season
won't.
that's like the
Yeah.
hero, like or the
Yeah.
provisional kind of stuff or whatever, where there's a kid of promos, that'd be cool. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be an invite to Nats, right? It could just
Correct.
be a bubble
It could be
girl
for
type
fun.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we get Mirko,
Yeah,
which would piss me off because I would be like, okay, just give me the first one. Let me win the first one so I can play her,
let me
and I'll be
win.
fine. Just let me win, damn it. Just let me win so I can get my Miracle, please. Yeah.
Oh man,
You know. Uh,
but
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 yeah,
yeah,
but okay, we got some more characters to talk about,
we
and
do,
we got some bangers to talk about
we do.
actually. So
So first off, since we last talked to you guys, there is Kamui Woods too. That's right,
yeah,
your boy Kamui Woods. He back, and
Wood Spider Man,
he
Wood
is
Spider Man.
he is the most woodinest thing to come to Woodville.
Oh, that he is. He
So he
grows.
is 625, which are terrible stats. Terrible.
Yeah.
That's actually the bar that historically, if I saw a character that was 625, I literally was like, well, I'm going to light this on fire because that character isn't playable. But wait
Faye
a
was
minute.
play-
Let's read his
Faye,
abilities.
Faye was playable at 625. Come on, man.
She was
Yes, she was.
incredibly okay.
She was great. She was so much fun. But
Doesn't
go
make
ahead.
her
Sorry.
competitive.
It's fine. Whatever.
So he has response for free. After your Rebels review step, you may review one card and draw a card. Dope.
That's sick.
That's cool. Free response. His second ability is also a free response. After you review a card, increase your maximum health by 1 and gain a health.
It also goes to show that if you have no cards in hand, you can review a card and draw a card. Can you do that? Because you can only, it's an effect, so you do what you can.
I don't
So
know
you
if the
discard
and
it.
matters there. At one point in time,
Yeah.
it definitely did.
It did. I know it
If
did
it
at
was
one
separate,
point.
so like if
but,
it said
a
you
comma or
may
something
review a
like
card,
and- yeah.
period, draw a card,
Yeah.
then it wouldn't have
Yeah.
mattered. But I'm pretty sure because
Yeah.
there's an and there, you have to discard one.
I think so too, but that may be something that may need to be clarified because
Yeah.
technically you could just this could be you just draw a card if you have no card. If I mean technically you just draw a card if you have no card.
I think you actually have to have the card to review
Yeah, I
because it
think
is
so.
an and.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think so too.
that being
Yes.
said,
Yes.
and then he gains a health and increases maximum life, so he's really automatically a 626, which is totally fine, guys. We're out of the danger zone on the crappy stats.
Yeah.
Literally, just have to review your first card and you're good. Then he has enhance once per turn. Add one card from your discard pile to your card pool. It doesn't count towards progressive difficulty. He has Earth, Good, and Life. He has Lurkers and Pro Hero on him, so he plays nice with all the other Lurker stuff in Edge Shot, and then in Mount Lady. Spoilers, the next character we're going to talk about as well.
Mount Lady, yeah, boy.
Yeah, Mount Lady 2 is a thing now also. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like I don't foresee this guy being like immediately super competitive, but I definitely see this guy being like someone's favorite character and their pet deck, and they are going to crush people with this guy for no reason besides that.
I see Jose playing a Woodman because he was known to play the Kamui, and I'm not like I agree with that. I think it's going to take someone's 10th iteration of this deck to like maybe push a top. Not like I think he's good enough to top cuts, but not win the event just because he has 25 health.
Well, so
like,
here's the thing: he doesn't really accelerate you winning in any way, shape, or form, right? Like he helps you be more consistent. You know, like you can go through things. He's gonna be tanky and kind of stick around because he's gaining free health, and you can kind of build things to trigger off of those things. But inherently, you got to be putting a really good card in there that does something while it's in your card pool each turn for it to really get the mileage. So I don't know. I mean, he's cool.
No, it would take. I think it's gonna. Yeah, I think it's just going to be seeing what's available and playing the best stuff. Like if this guy had air, I'd be like, cool. I'm gonna slam Nitro in, and I'm gonna find a way to get cards out of my card pool because that would be sick, you know.
Yeah.
But he does not have that. But I don't know. Like it's going to be really interesting because he could like say like someone breaks up your combo or whatever or something, right? That's an enhance. So I don't know. It's kind of weird.
So you could do
I
something
wish it
off
was
of
a, I wish it
good.
was a, wish it was form more than anything. But
On good, you can use his ability to put in plus Ultra Smash and have it sit there. And then it has a response in your card pool that when you would go to create, you
yeah.
can commit a foundation to add it to your momentum instead. So like you can get a free momentum off of
So
that. But that's again, what are you doing with that momentum? That's not that great. It's just kind of an
I
interaction.
got I got one for you.
Okay.
Off of Earth, we slam in seizing the advantage.
Yeah.
We're attacking anyway, so we're getting a free foundation out of it, and speed and board control.
You don't get the
So
speed because you don't play the card,
oh, no, you don't play the card as a
but
form.
you
My
can
bad. I'm
respond with it
sorry.
because it's in your
But you
card
can
pool.
respond. Yeah, yeah. So you get to build a foundation and then flip
So
something.
in
So
theory,
yeah,
if you build a
yeah,
deck that then lets you destroy foundations, you could seizing,
yep,
every time you attack on your turn.
correct. Yeah,
You could
yep.
not do it, and really it has to be your second attack every turn because he's an enhance.
Hmm.
So don't get me wrong, that is the kind of interactions we're looking for here, but I don't
Yeah.
know if that's enough to really leverage him to get him up over the hump.
Do we have anything? Well, we have energy suction, but that already doesn't count towards progressive to play attacks, so there's no point. But you could just slam it in. If you don't have one, you could always just slam it in and gain health off of that. I
Yeah,
don't know.
like I said, I think this dude.
There may be some neat
Yeah, I
stuff
think
he
this
can
dude
do.
is very
Yeah.
good at not dying. Like in that way, like
Right.
he's kind of
Yeah.
like Nezure, like he's gonna gain a bunch of life for Recovery Girl. But I
Yeah.
don't think that he inherently is very good at
Killing
defeating his
people.
rival either. You know.
Yeah.
So
Which
that's what you gotta
which
figure out.
which the next character we talk about can kill people. It's just can you defend with her?
All
That's the
right,
issue.
Chris, she's on the
So,
screen. Talk about your
oh
girl.
my girl. Okay, so this is really weird because Mount Lady 2 does not have a period after mount. So technically she's MT Lady 1 because she doesn't have a period after the mount. But
Whoops.
it's whatever. So she is a 630. We love those
The
stats.
fattest of
Big,
booties.
the fattest of stats. Speaking of which, we'll have to talk about her art and her cards in a minute. So she has three abilities because we love three abilities on characters. Response: after you review one or more cards, add one size counter to this card for each card reviewed. So that's pretty neat. So I know I had some people asking if you discard multiple cards and they say it counts as reviewed. It's one game instance, so you'd only get one counter,
Yeah.
not one counter per
So like
card.
if you play an
So,
effect that says review two
Dis-
cards or discard two cards, they count as being
cards.
reviewed. It's still just
It's
one
one
trick.
counter. One counter.
One counter.
Enhance your turn. If you have three or more size counters, your attack gets 3 damage. If you have 5 or more size counters, your rival commits one face-up foundation. That's pretty cool. I like this. I like you get a bonus speed and 3 damage in a way.
Yeah,
Kind of.
so that's worth clarifying because like it's
Yep.
not an either or, it's not a replace effect. It's meaning in addition to.
Yep.
And this is something
Yeah.
that's actually a complaint that I have where a lot of effects that probably should just say in addition
Yeah.
don't say it anymore. They just state it
Sure.
as this happens also. And grammatically it works both ways. But
Yeah.
to me, like from a comprehension standpoint, it just makes more sense if you say like, if you have 5 or more size counters, your rival, in addition, or additionally, your rival commits one face down foundation, right?
Yeah.
Or face up foundation, sorry. But neither here nor there.
Yep.
That's a really cool ability.
Yep.
What's the last one?
Yep. Enhance. Remove 10 size counters. This attack becomes unblockable. She has the Lurkers and Pro Hero tags. She is Chaos, Earth, and Void. That 10 size counters is huge. That's cool because with her cards, you get to review a lot of stuff. Like you honestly, it's crazy how like fast she's gonna be able. Like your first 3 counters, easy peasy dunker easy. Like just you can play one of her attacks and just be there, almost. I think it was one of the attacks, and then like 10 should be nothing over the course of a game. Like, and there's no real way to remove counters off characters yet.
Right.
Like you better keep your health total up because she's gonna get you. She'll stomp on you for that unblockable and kill you.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
think that like, especially when you look at like the symbols where she has, like she could ultimate combination you and then just make it unblockable,
blockable.
and just do your whole life total. I do think that's an ability. It's kind of like planeswalkers. Like you only get to pop their ultimate once. You're
Yeah.
probably only
Oh yeah,
popping this once per
definitely.
game, and you're probably going to have to also play
Yeah.
pretty defensively to get to that
Hmm.
point.
To get to 10.
However,
Yeah.
like it's probably going to take 2 to 3 turns minimum of you do actively doing things to review. Like
Yeah.
beyond the
She does.
regular review step.
She doesn't get full to body skewer, so she doesn't get to do that because she
Right.
doesn't share a symbol with them at all. So, no, she shares void, so she could do it off of void.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can do the full to body thing, review one on every attack, and eventually get to 10 pretty quickly. But that's a closet case that you're playing a full to body into other things that's also 6 diff. So,
Right. Right.
which usually doesn't work out very well. So
No, you're going to overextend real hard and then just pack it up because
real
she
hard.
does not do
Yeah.
anything to stay alive on her
Nah.
face, except for have 30
And
health.
that's pretty thematic in the show. She doesn't really defend herself
No,
very
she
well.
does not.
She gets her ass wrecked like super bad. Like she gets her butt kicked
Oh
super
yeah, like
bad.
every fight. But she's
Every
also
fight.
like stomping on things the whole time. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, I think it's safe to say you're pretty hype about this character, right?
Oh yeah, I'm very excited. Plus all of her art, chef's kiss, boys. Chef's kiss.
Yeah, I don't think I'll play her. Like I don't like counter mechanics in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the
Yeah, I
same
get it.
time,
Yeah.
I do think that she's a cool design, and I do think that I'm glad they revisited her, right? And I'm glad that there's also more review support, between her
Correct.
cards and
Yeah.
then also Kamui's for Edge
Yep.
Shot, which is definitely of the three of them the one that I
Yeah.
would want to play the most.
Oh yeah, I think Ed Shot's the best of the three for sure.
Yeah,
But he is the highest ranked pro hero in that team. So yeah, that would make sense.
kind of checks out.
Yeah, checks out.
So we have two more characters that have been revealed. Up next is Toga 3. I'll kind of read off what she does, and then we'll kind of talk about her because she actually is like the most recent one to be revealed. So she is 628, and she's in the starter decks for the set.
The Clash deck.
Clash decks.
The yellow.
It's
She's in the yellow Clash
the
deck.
yellow
The Peeps
one.
yellow.
Yeah.
The Peeps yellow. Because
So
her hair is blonde, I guess. I don't know.
so she says, free response after you play a weapon attack, your rival commits 1 foundation. Okay.
Kinda neat.
They get to choose, so okay, but
Yeah,
whatever.
that's all right. That's whatever.
Enhance, if this is the first attack you've played this turn, it gets +3 speed and +2 damage for free.
Kind of neat. Hated the gate when I saw it originally.
Yeah,
Hated it.
it's her ambushing someone, right? Like, gotcha.
Yeah. I've come around. I've come around. I've
Okay.
come around.
And then it's response once per turn for free as well. So she has actual no cost on any of her abilities. Just want to point that out. After your attack deals damage, you may add 1 card from your discard pile to your momentum.
And you can add in cool stuff that goes in face up if you want to.
That response is
sick.
stupid.
Oh yeah, I already got moves for this character, man. I'm hyped for her. Like I
she's-
was really poo-pooing on her at first, and then I came around. So
She
yeah.
is League of Villains and Villain, and then she is Chaos, Death, and Life. I think this is a really cool design. Really potentially very strong character. Like it's going to come down to again what weapons attack she's able to really abuse well, and given the fact that she shares Death and Life with her 2 previous versions, and she has access to like her second character's kit in particular, whole lot of stuff that does stuff in the momentum.
Can I give you one for free?
What you got?
Can I give you one for free? So what we do is we play a Serum Bullets. They commit 1, right? We play a Create Capture Net on a 5. That's our first attack. We also get to give it Stun 2 and commit 1. So we commit their entire board on our first attack.
Yeah, it's like tap 4.
It's like tap 4. Yeah. Pretty cool. And then we get to build that. It's inconsequential what happens after last because we playing Magical Christmas Land, boys. This happens every time.
Yeah.
And they have no stun hate whatsoever. So we tap their entire
Who runs
board.
that stuff?
Nobody.
Yeah, but that's the kind of thing. Like she gives you lots of cool wiggle room. And now,
Yep.
we'll wait and we'll talk about how I think strong these starter characters are at the end after you get to talk about Uraraka a little bit. Because I think there's something going on here.
Yeah. Like
So
after seeing so back still on Toga for a second, like after seeing her kit today as of recording, like she had the one piece that I wanted because I saw this and I'm like, well, Toga 2 ain't the greatest because she's like, you get 2 speed if this is your first attack this turn. And I'm just like, well, I wish that was just more of a once per turn and didn't gate it to the first attack, but I know they want to like play the ambush style
Yeah,
or
she has
whatever.
3 speed and 2 damage, dog. It's
Yeah,
beefy.
I know. Stats are way cooler.
Yeah.
But she has a attack that says this also counts as your first attack. So
Mm-hmm.
that's something I think Toga 2 kind of wanted, but she kind of has it now off of True Symbols because of this card.
Mm-hmm.
So you're able to spread out your stats or use your stats more times in a turn.
Sure.
So,
Oh yeah. I mean, like,
yeah,
if you play that card as like your second or third card,
it's connecting.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also, you get to play duplicate deception stab in this character with a straight face because
Mm-hmm.
that's a 7 low 9, my friend.
Yeah,
And
throws.
it rips a card from their hand.
Yeah.
And
Oh
it
yeah.
triggers. So here's the ultimate play real quick.
Here we go.
You DDS, you respond, you snap in the fake first attack turn card into your momentum.
Mm-hmm.
You play the card they showed this afternoon outside of her kit to get that piece back, and then you get a 3 for 2 special. You get a 3 for 2 special there, and it's just nothing but value because you get to go 7 low 9 attack whatever
You're playing
the
on a
last
6, a 5, and a 6, though, right?
It's all good. We're checking 5s all day, man.
All
We're
day.
good.
Can't
We're
not
good.
do it. God forbid you ever check a 3 or less on that first one.
It doesn't matter because we have that foundation that says our first one doesn't count towards progressive anyway, so we're good.
There you go.
We're good. We're playing on a 4 and on a 5 kids. So yeah, but I guess we should talk about the other character in the
All
room.
right.
I guess, right?
So last character from the set.
Oh yeah.
is-
We got a I can do it.
You got
I can
it?
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I got a Chaco Uraraka 4. Art is beautiful on both these cards, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
She has three abilities. First is enhance. Flip 1 foundation as cost. Your high attack gets +3 speed or damage. Neat. Response. After your charge or high attack deals damage, ready a face down foundation. Neat. Response. Once per turn, after you play your second attack or greater this turn, you get to unflip a foundy. That's kind of nice. She is a 628, just like Toka. She has air, earth, water. She is a 1A student. Matt, I can see your head exploding as I speak.
This
Your
character
thoughts?
is bananas. Like,
Yeah.
she has
Yeah.
cost that aren't real cost. Like, the only real cost here is that your keyword or zone locked to
Yeah.
a great keyword in the game or a
And-
zone that's not mid,
zone
so you're cool with it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I
It's very good.
Yeah, I mean, like, flip 1 foundation for +3 speed or +3 damage. Tight lipped is like, well, I guess I'm never going in a deck again. You know, like,
Yep.
I mean,
It's
it
like
has
I'll
other
see
symbols,
myself.
but
It's like I'll see myself out.
yeah, for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most notably, her response after your charge or high attack deals damage, ready 1 face down foundation, isn't once per turn. Also, isn't that hasn't been readied.
Readied.
Now,
Yeah, that's nuts.
I talked to Church a little bit about this, and he was pointing out like it's a face down. It's not going to do a whole lot,
Yeah.
but you also get to unflip a face down.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of a face down temporarily until it becomes a not face down, and then it's a face down again because you used it a second time. And
Yeah.
like, I think this character's nuts. Like,
I as looking at both of them, obviously because they test them against each other because they're supposed to be training tools to teach people how to play the game. I think Achako, well, 'cause technically she wins that fight, right? So she should be a little stronger than Toga. So she may be that. But
Yeah.
I actually think Toga has the underhanded. She's the underdog, but I think she actually, if you put more work into her, she's going to pay off bigger in the end. But
so I think Uraraka
Free
is a
speeder
little bit
damage is
more
pretty
linear,
good, you know?
like
Yeah,
on her
that's
face.
but yeah.
Like we say that, but not really because like the readying and unflipping stuff. Like, so like this is kind of what I wanted to talk about. These characters on the surface level, they're easy to understand, difficult to master. Is the way these characters are built, which is a great place I think to have your starter deck characters, right?
Right.
Because people get them, they're like, oh, cool, I understand what to do here. And then as they play more and more, they're gonna be like, oh, and I can do this. Oh, and I can do this. And that's great. That is exactly what you want in your product there.
Yeah.
But then if you're someone who already knows how to play the game, you look at these guys and you're like, whoa, think of all the crazy stuff I can do with this already, because you know that stuff. So like you're not worried about the easy to learn portion of it. You're just trying to master it. And
Master it, yeah.
with that, the thing that confuses me is their whole pitch for this product was, hey, we're tired of these selling out, so we're going to make these challenger series, and that way our clash decks, the advanced players won't go after those. And then you make these characters that are like, wait, what? And their kids.
Oh, I know.
Their kids have some banana stuff in it. Uraraka literally has a heroic strike for charges.
What was the quote? I think that was it Bill said or something, or so. Advanced players would not want these decks or something like that. I'm like,
yeah, because they were trying to find out ways to basically like shore up the fact that like the Mirio and Overhaul ones got gobbled up by all the people who already knew about the game, so new players couldn't get access to them. So they were like, we're going to change how we're designing these things. And,
I mean, my store still has 5 of each sitting there collecting dust because you know.
Well, some places couldn't get them, I guess. I don't know. And if you look online, they're like gouged up too. So.
Really?
They're like $20+ online or whatever from what I've seen.
Hey man, you got to pay for shipping, so $7 shipping, dude. So that makes sense. Right. Yeah, these are like I saw Toga's kit today, and I was just like, well, I don't need to buy a case of Jetfire because I can just get 2 Toga starter decks and buy singles, and I'll be good. And then Ben was like, hey, what if they make a Toga SR that says all your attacks are considered the first attack you played this turn? I'm like, well, rip my wallet. So right. You know, so because honestly, if you think about it, they're probably going to have 2 SRs, one for each character, because they're not going to have ultra rares. So it's safe to say that they'll either have an SR they share, because they don't share symbols, so they can't. Yeah. Well, they could. They could technically have like life, death, air,
like the joint effort offensive kind of thing.
Yeah,
right? Where like it's shared 2 symbols with each of them, and then one off one or something like that.
One off. Yeah, but I mean they don't share a symbol at all, right? No, they don't. No, so either they did 4 symbols. They could do 4 symbols on a card because they have enough room now.
Yeah, that's right.
So so you probably it's either they each have their own or they share one, and it can only be played on, which would be kind of shitty to only have it on one symbol available. Yeah. So I could see it.
Probably
I could see them having
cards,
they're separate cards. Yeah, if they get them at all. Yeah, I can see that. But like, yeah, can you imagine that? Like, if say like Uraraka gets something that says like, you know, if you can unflip a foundation if it hits, like it doesn't matter, you know.
Or gain stats for every card face down you've readied this turn or something.
Yeah, I mean she already is the best Faratsky or whatever, Meteor Faratsky's character.
Yeah. Oh,
whatever.
Dude, she's gonna
crush people with that thing. Yeah, dude.
Crush people with that card.
You know that sub $1 ultra rare that you get in set 5 or set 4, stonks, baby. Yeah, stonks.
Yeah,
you know,
it's I don't know, man. Like I said, like that's the part that perplexes me is that both these characters, like I said, I think they are exactly what you want from a design standpoint and from a product release. And I think they're great. And I think these are going to do really well. But I don't think, and I said this when he made that statement before about like the design approach there. My solution was like, you just print more, man. Like that's the solution. You just actually print more product.
Print more. Yeah. Just print more. Yeah.
But because I don't think you're going to somehow release a product that veteran players don't want. You know,
because everybody wants 4 of every card because eventually they'll be useful.
Right. I literally adopted that mentality for sets 1 through 3, and almost achieved it. There's a few cards that I don't have 4x of.
Yeah,
but I've abandoned it for 4 and 5. Like I was just like, all right, whatever. Like,
yeah, there's too many cards.
Right. I'm like, I'm not made of money. I can't do this.
Yeah, like even like if you look at their kits, like their cards, like Air Jiro got so much from Uraraka's kit. Like she gets a heroic strike.
Yeah, that's what I was saying a minute ago. Like, legit. Yeah. Like the fact that Uraraka's kit has a heroic strike for charges.
It also has, if you played a charge or something, it has like a draw card. If you have more charges or if you have a charge in your card pool, like what is Air Jiro usually lacking that she needs the most? outside card draw. So she's gonna get more card draw. She also what is it? I have all these cards saved on my phone because I'm a loser and I just look at everything. Where is it? There was a foundation in here. Where was it?
Flustered is the one that you're
Uh,
talking about, where it says
Flus-
enhance flip. If there's a charge
Flustered.
attacking your card pool, discard one
Yeah.
rival momentum or draw a card.
Yep. And then she also got Hell's Gate back, so that's kind of cool. But it's on a 1 diff now. Um, yeah, like oh, let's talk about Nomu Zero Gravity Rush right now. That's a 10 high 10. That's a 10 high 10 that's gonna draw you 2 cards no matter what.
Yeah. So those of you who aren't familiar, Zero Gravity Rush is a 6 difficulty, 0 speed high for 4 damage,
Just
3
4
check.
damage.
And it has enhance. Change this attack speed to match its damage. And then it says enhance if you have 3 or more face down foundations, draw 2 cards. And it's a charge. So you Nomu for free, give it 6 damage. It goes to 10 damage. Then you enhance to make it 10 speed high, doing 10. And then you just draw 2 cards if you have face downs. And you can do that off of Earth. To be fair,
Yes.
there are resets and other ways to easily deal with
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like,
definitely.
it's still
Yeah.
going to be real good and definitely going to be windmill slammed into those Earth Nomu decks. Like at least at like a
Yeah.
2, probably, maybe
Oh, yeah.
3 if they're real greedy.
Probably. I would see it taking I don't know if it's taking calorie counters.
Oh, no.
That's too.
Calorie
that's too
Counter is
much
the
value.
best card in that deck.
Part of the deck. Yeah, that's way too good for
Because
him.
what do people do against Nomu? You block. And he's
Yeah,
like, cool.
yeah.
Here's a harder block. And if you block, and bad things are going to happen to you. Take your 12.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Harpoon Vault. That's another card I wanted to talk about. Air is getting this 3 diff attack package slowly that I'll say Jiro because it's Jiro and that it's going to get ridiculous eventually. She's going to play in a deck where it's all just 3 diffs. And they're going to be coming in for like 5 to 7 damage. She's going to have card draw. Like, I don't know. Like, I saw this kit and I'm like, I saw some characters kits in this and I'm like, Jiro's getting banned after this set's coming out because there's just too much good. I know
she's a
I don't
6-hander.
really,
Like
yeah.
she's
I
a
know,
6-hander who
I know.
doesn't actually draw things. Like she
I
has
know,
to see
but
other things to draw things.
She does now with Flustered, and she has ways to unflip it. So yes, she has card draw now. So yeah.
Air is getting some more card draw, and I do think that
Yeah,
Air will probably
which you
become
need.
her de facto symbol that
Yeah,
people build
best
off of
symbol.
because of the lower difficulty and the fact that it's all charge stuff. Plus, that means you can run double jab with a straight face. Like, there's a lot
Yeah.
there. Dude, you know what I'm talking about? I don't care about Jiro. My boy Midoriya 5.
Oh yeah, Midoriya 5 got big stonks after this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That Air build though, dog.
What was it? Oh, Neck Chop. Neck Chop's kind of cool in him. I like Neck Chop in him. I like I like all of her cards in him, man. Like I really. I hear people messaging me right
Yeah,
now.
it's
I'm
all about
doing
that
stuff.
close quarters sub
Yeah.
where it's heroic strike. Like that card's going to be nuts in him. Just throw it out, give it 3 more speed and a damage.
I mean,
there's a
let's
5/5 for 4
like
that commits their board.
like Zero Gravity. I like that card a lot, but it's like really cool. But the art, it's super mid. That's the issue. But it is an 8 mid for 6 in her though. So have fun blocking that one unless you're like have a reset.
And
you
even
know?
in Midoriya, it's a
Yeah.
8
8
mid
for 7. For 7. That buffs your next charge attack. That readies. That discards the momentum it pays. It's basically a 3 diff. You know?
Yeah, and then he clears
Nice.
his card pool and draws a bunch
With
of
the-
cards.
With the kick, because he's just gonna swipe them all. Yep.
Like that
Yeah.
deck's gonna be super fun.
Oh
Like,
yeah, it will be.
That like legitimately, and this is what makes me so happy about set 6 is that like I'm hyped to build both Midoriya and Bakugo because
Yeah.
again I'm just a fanboy of both of those characters. So sign me up. I want to do both of those things.
I do want to say a shout out to Quirk Expertise and her foundations, where you just you can change any attack to high, and you just block it. Say, hey, I only got high blocks. Cool. Change that low to a high. That's kind of neat. So.
Yeah, well,
But I'm
and
gonna
it's also
go-
a 2/6, so there's that also.
Yeah. So let's just go ahead and talk about a cool Toga card real quick. Where
I
is
mean,
it?
I'm going to reach an end here soon.
I know we have to reach an end soon.
Can't
Where
talk about
was
all the
it?
cards.
Oh, okay. So weapon of choice. Weapon of choice gives you an option to not play Excited for Blood now. So that's cool because the people who can't get excited for Bloods, you have an option outside of that now. So that's all I'm gonna say. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm
All
sorry. I'm
right,
sorry.
all right. We could
I
we
got
could
too
do this
hyped.
all
Too
night,
hyped.
literally. Captain America
Yeah,
style. I could do
literally.
this all
Yeah.
night.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
But
Yeah.
yeah, guys. Set 6. It's coming imminently. Find a pre-release. Make sure you're there for it. Keep checking out the UVS games. Watch all the stuff.
Cool.
There you go. See, he's got to put them up there. And of course, we are also quickly approaching our 2-year anniversary
3-year
on
anniversary.
October
Woo!
4th. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So
Day after my
we're gonna be
anniversary.
having some big things happening. You're gonna want to keep an eye out on the channel and look out for some videos and some announcements coming from us. If you have not already, make sure to do all the algorithm things. Follow, like, subscribe,
Comment, subscribe.
comment below, do all those things. Yeah, we appreciate everything that you guys are doing to keep us coming back. And
Yeah,
know
love it.
that we're excited. It's gonna be year 3 is gonna be a cool year. We got a lot of stuff in the pipe.
Oh,
So
hell yeah.
yeah,
Let's go.
we're gonna
Very
keep doing what we're
excited.
doing. We're trying to be really consistent for you. So let us know. Leave the comments down below. Maybe you could tell us what your thoughts are on any of the topics we just discussed. Whether that's the new block formatting that might be coming, or what your thoughts are about the HLC, or even about these new previews. We love hearing from you guys and having that conversation.
Yep.
Again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. And we will definitely see you guys soon.
In the next one. Bye.